Hi, welcome back to the adventures of Becky and Kathy. Today, we're going to talk about their encounter with ex-con Crazy Larry. We could have died, and our bodies never found, ever. But we didn't. Let's recap. We have gone through much of Becky and Kathy's childhood years and teen years, but some of my favorite adventures took place when we were young adults. And that part of the book starts with today's story and lasts for 2 years. So let's get to it. Chapter 35, Becky and Kathy meet Crazy Larry. In the spring of our 20th year, Becky had an amazing idea. We should put our lives on hold and move to Colorado for a year. We might never have a chance again to live together before we go our separate ways. Well, I had just been accepted, after a real audition, to American Conservatory Theater's summer training program in San Francisco. This has no relevance at all to the story, but I was quite proud of it, so I thought I'd tell you. My response to Beck was, "Sure, but I have ACT till September." She said that was perfect because her dad's birthday was in September, and we could just move there the next day. With 2 weeks before my move to San Francisco, we planned a quick trip to Colorado to scope it out and choose the town in which we would live. We flipped a coin to choose whose car to drive, and then the other one would pay the gas. We took Beck's car, relevant to the Crazy Larry story. 2 days drive out. This was during the energy crisis. Interstate speed limit was 55 miles per hour, which meant that a 10-hour drive covered about 250 miles less than it would today. We checked out Greeley and Loveland, Colorado, decided on Loveland, and drove back. We were on Interstate 80, about 2 hours from home, coming down the mountains. Looking down, we could see quite a ways ahead, and there was an accident that had traffic backed up. We quickly formulated a plan. Beck would pull off at the next off-ramp, take the frontage road to the next on-ramp, get back on, and bypass the traffic mess. So, Beck pulled off, took the overpass across the accident site, and headed up the country road. But soon the car began to sputter and stopped. Uh-oh. We remembered a crowd had formed on the overpass watching the accident cleanup. We walked back and said to no one in particular, "Our car broke down. Anyone know of a nearby gas station where we could get a tow?" The crowd parted, and there he was, striding forward toward us. A clean young man with blonde curly hair, jeans, no shirt, a tattoo on his arm that said Crazy Larry, and on his belt a sheath that held a very large Bowie knife. "I can take a look at your car." Simultaneously, I said, "Okay, thanks." As Beck said, "No, thanks," he heard me. He led us to his clean, small red pickup truck. I thought Beck would like that it was red and that it was clean. It was a small truck, but still, the bed of the truck was full of empty, uncrushed Budweiser cans. When I say full, I mean there had to be hundreds of them to fill most of the bed and form a 2 to 3 foot peak in the middle. Actually, the red and silver cans looked kind of pretty glistening in the clean red truck. Beck had me sit in the middle, which seemed like a good idea to her until Larry, as we called him, told Beck to firmly hold the door closed. The door latch was broken. Crazy Larry drove us to Beck's car, hopped out, looked under the hood, looked under the car, and declared, You have a coolant leak. You're out of coolant." He had a buddy who owned an auto shop not far away. He'd take us. It was on the way there that Crazy Larry told us he recently got out of prison. I'm sure it felt good for him to be free again. We got the coolant, went back to Beck's car, got out, and then he asked, wait for it, "Do you have a funnel?" "No." And that's when it happened. He reached into the bed of his truck, retrieved an empty Budweiser can. He had Becky hold it firmly in her hand, palm up, whipped out his Bowie knife, and swap, sliced off the top of the can, swap, sliced off the bottom of the can, and very gentle slice in the middle from the top to bottom. He took it from Beck's frozen hand, fashioned it into a funnel, poured in the coolant, and sent us on our way. Adios, Crazy Larry, and thank you.